Council special meeting at 5:04 p.m. City Clerk, will you do the roll call?
Yes. Mayor Turco?
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Hasselbrink?
Here.
Councilmember Bates?
Here.
Councilmember Doby?
Here.
Councilmember Nafulda?
Here. Okay, item number 3, a special order. We are going to interview and appoint city commissioners. We have many applicants today, and first we want to say thank you for your interest in being involved in the city. The city commissioners do a lot of hard work for the city and assist the city council as well, so we really appreciate your willingness to serve. Our goal, and hopefully we'll get there tonight, our goal is to be able to appoint everyone who's willing to serve to a commission. So you may not end up on your first choice commission, but hopefully we will find a way for you to help out and serve and be involved. It's a great way to give back to the community. And I think it's the way almost every council member here got involved and got started in the city. So with that, we will begin the process. City Clerk, if it's okay with you, I'd like to do the Planning Commission first, since that involves a smaller number of applicants.
Okay, for the Planning Commission, our first applicant is Ray Joseph, and our applicant Eddie Manfro has withdrawn his interest. So Mr. Joseph, I'll be switching you over to a panelist now.
Hello, Ray. How are you?
Hi, good evening. I apologize. I think there might have been some confusion. I was just applying for the Parks and Recreation position. I'm not sure how this got transcribed or got changed, so.
Well, that simplifies things a bit then. Okay, we can come back to you then, Ray. Thank you so much.
Sure.
Okay, give me one moment. Okay, so then we'll start with Parks and Rec. I do apologize. I show that he had checked both boxes on his application, so my apologies for that. And our first one up for Parks and Rec.
Oh, sorry, Wendy. Should we do the appointment commission by commission, just so we don't get too confused?
And it's at your pleasure. Yes, we can go commission by commission. With, oh, Mr. Mayor?
It's like his computer stopped working.
There it is.
You're back.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Since we have only 2 applicants for 2 positions, are we able to just?
Oh, you cut out again.
You're freezing up, Mark.
I think what he's trying to do is for the Planning Commission, since Eddie withdrew his application, there's 2 applicants for 2 positions. Can we just vote by affirmation?
You can. So the 2 applicants we have for planning are Larry Andrade and Victor Sofocanic. They're both incumbents. If the council would like to appoint them, we just need a motion and a second, and we'll do a roll call vote.
So moved.
Yep. I'll second.
Okay, so I have a motion by Councilmember Bates, seconded by Mayor Pro Tem Hasselbrink to reappoint Commissioner Andrade and Commissioner Sofocanic. And we'll do roll call. Mayor Turco?
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Hasselbrink?
Aye.
Councilmember Bates?
Aye.
Councilmember Doby?
Aye.
Councilmember Nafulda?
Aye.
Okay. Motion passes.
Okay, next to the Parks, Recreation, and Cultural Arts Commission. Wendy, is it correct that we have 6 applicants for 5 positions, including incumbents?
We have 7 applicants, including incumbents for 4 full,
4 positions.
for 4 scheduled vacancies and the 1 unscheduled vacancy from Councilmember Nafulda.
Okay. I spoke with Commissioner Hill today, who indicated, Dean Hill, who's on the Parks, Recreation, and Cultural Arts Commission, who indicated he would like to apply for the Traffic Commission rather than the Parks, Recreation, and Cultural Arts Commission. I do not see him on the line. However, I believe he's of the understanding that he will be up for the Traffic Commission.
I received the same information.
Okay. Thank you. So with that, we'll have 5 applicants, excuse me.
6 applicants.
6 applicants for 5 positions.
Correct.
5 or 4?
Okay.
4 positions, correct, or 5?
We have 4 scheduled vacancies and then the 1 unscheduled vacancy.
Okay.
And so the way I think this could take place, unless anyone has any objection or wants to discuss it, is we'll do the interviews of the new applicants, and then we'll each vote for our top 5 applicants. Those 5 will be appointed to the commission, and the 5th place vote getter would end up with a shorter term until December 2022. Does that sound reasonable?
Yeah.
Let's do it. Wendy?
Great. So would you like to start with our interviews?
Yes, please.
Okay, so our first interview, we have Morgan Beck, and our second interview would be Caitlin Duran. So we'll start with Morgan Beck.
Okay. And the way, council, I think we do this is we'll each take 1 question, so we're all involved in the interview process. Jordan, maybe you could do question 1, Tanya, question 2, Ron, question 3, Shelley, question 4, and I'll do question 5. Hi, Morgan.
How are you doing?
Good, welcome. Thank you for applying.
Thank you for listening to me.
Okay. Let's see here. Let me pull this up here. All right. Yeah, thanks again, Mr. Beck. I'm a council member in the fold, and I'm going to go ahead and ask you, what special traits, characteristics, or experience would you bring to the commission?
Well, as someone that has 2 younger side kids, I have a lot of experience with using a lot of the services here in Los Al. But more of my experience on a professional level is currently I work as a director in a public institution. So I'm used to the communities and having to solicit feedback, get different perspectives, and find ways to select ideas and methods to move forward that aren't necessarily always your own idea. Sometimes they're ones that you like and that you prefer, and sometimes that they're not. I've been doing that for quite some time. I would say those are probably the 2 biggest things, is 1, just being a frequenter of the facilities, and 2, the understanding of the collaboration that this kind of a role I think would be required to have.
Thank you.
You're up, Tanya.
Okay, I thought so. Hey, Morgan, how you doing?
I'm doing all right.
I love to hear it. So, why do you want to serve on this commission?
Well, I don't think the answer is appropriate when I say my wife tells me to. So currently I play a very small role. I volunteer at one of the local youth sports and serve on their board, and I have for quite a few years now. And I do enjoy being part of that community. I feel that I want to set a good example for my kids to understand that, when you are an adult, you have to be involved. You can't just sit in your home and lock your door and hope for the best. So it's basically around that, to be able to set the example, to be more involved in the community that I'm going to live in for at least the next 15 years while they go through school.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Hi, Morgan. This is Ron. What do you think are the most significant issues facing the Parks and Recreation Commission?
Well, I would say most likely the most significant at the moment is the reason why we're doing this online, and I'm not standing in front of some place, right? And I can't imagine the type of impact being brand new of what that's had, right? Because now you're trying to balance public safety with still providing services to the community in a world that changes every hour, every minute. And then every time we think that we're comfortable, then something new comes along and changes it again. So to me, it would be just the volatility and the lack of history to be able to rely upon for making choices.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hey, Morgan, it's Shelley.
Hey.
What do you feel is the role of the Park and Rec Commission?
Really to work as a group with the other commissioners to advise on what we think would be best to serve the community. So it would be listening to different people. Obviously, you're going to take their feedback and their input and supply those as you go through and say, you know, I know and from these areas, from these parents that I talked to at school, here's some particular needs. And you have that discussion as a group and you find out maybe what the best option is, and then you make a recommendation.
Cool, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Morgan, this is the toughest question.
Sure.
I'm just kidding. Yeah, and I think you've seen all these questions before, but when considering actions by the commission, how do you balance the best interest of the entire community against the likes and dislikes of yourself, your friends, or your neighbors?
Okay. Well, I don't think that you'll see a proposal coming from me that we need to get rid of all my neighbors' houses and build more trees around that along with a moat. Then you would know it was from me directly. But I don't think it's necessarily difficult. People that mostly that are going to be here and want to volunteer and help, they're trying to do this from a altruistic perspective. I think most of the time, especially when you're working with groups, when you're always recommending things that are best suited for you, it's kind of seen, and then sometimes your voice is a little bit more quiet in the group. I've been, like I said before, doing this in LoSal on a much smaller scale for I think the last 5 years or so, and it's just beneficial. I enjoy it personally, which is why I'm, on this applicant pool. So I think when you have that kind of attitude, it's not a difficult thing.
Very good. Thank you, Morgan.
I appreciate everybody's time. Thank you so much.
Up next, we have Caitlin Duran. I saw her. There she is.
Okay.
Hello, I'm sorry, I'm just starting my video.
Okay, Caitlin, thank you for joining us. What special traits, characteristics, or experience would you bring to the commission?
Well, I have a passion for the arts, including drawing, playing the piano, and performing, as well as script writing. Not only do I love people, but I also love working with elders and the youth. I have actually participated in events put on for the arts, not only as a performer, but also as a volunteer intern for productions and children's summer camp.
Thank you.
Hey, Caitlin, it's Tanya. How are you?
Hello. Good.
All right, I got a question for you. Why do you want to serve on this commission?
Well, I love Los Alamitos and would love to have the opportunity to give back through service. I'd also like to be involved in planning future events. Now, I have a little sister who attends Lee and she enjoys the community, and I know how important these events are to her and the youth, and I'd love to be a part of providing these events.
Thank you.
This is Ron. What do you think right now are the most significant issues facing the Parks and Recreation Commission?
Well, as of now, it would be the pandemic because we're severely limited on what we can do and for events and planning on things that people would want to go to that will follow the CDC guidelines.
Hi, Caitlin, it's Shelley. In your own words, what do you feel is the role of the Park and Rec Commission?
Well, I believe that being the commission is about gathering ideas and events that the city council will approve of, and events that are fun, engaging, and educational that also promotes growth and unity within the community.
Hi, Caitlin. I'm Mark. Pleasure to meet you via video. When considering actions by the commission, how do you balance the best interest of the entire community against the likes and dislikes of yourself, your friends, or your neighbors?
I believe that we need to provide what's best for the community. Everyone should be allowed to voice their own opinions, and we should be allowed to have a civil discussion about it. And I am committed to doing what's best for the community, even if I may personally disagree.
Thank you, Caitlin.
Up next, we have Mr. Ray Joseph.
Ray, you're back. Hopefully we got it right this time.
Yes, thank you.
All right. Good evening, Ray. Thanks for being here. I'll go ahead and start. What special traits, characteristics, or experience would you bring to the commission?
Thank you for your consideration, and thank you for allowing me the opportunity to speak with you this evening. I believe in public service. It's something that my family and I have done throughout parts of my career. My sister's a public defender in upstate New York. Both my parents served in the Air Force, and I have served the state of New Jersey as the chief investment officer for its pension fund under John Corzine, that governor. Then I served under President Obama as the special trustee for American Indians in the Department of Interior and Department of Treasury. I currently work and advise a number of states and government agencies for its pension funds and funding obligations. So I have a deep understanding of how organizations work best. I've also worked in a number of these operations that include the arts and entertainment, and including the Department of Interior funding large-scale infrastructure programs. So I believe both my skill set from a government entity experience side, as well as private sector opportunities. I've worked for a number of public corporations like Pacific Bell, GT, and Verizon as well, so I can balance the views of what sometimes private enterprises can offer, as well as government entities have their strengths as well.
Oh, thank you.
Hello, Mr. Ray. I have a question for you. Tell me, why do you want to serve on this commission?
Sure. I mean, this commission for me is one that's close to heart. I fell in love with the national parks when I had the opportunity to serve at the Department of Interior. And I have a child with special needs in Los Alamitos who enjoys being outside, enjoys being outdoors. And at this time, it's very challenging for individuals with disabilities to have the opportunity to engage the community. They're one of the groups that traditionally are sheltered because of their health care. And it's something that's very important for all of us. Being outdoors, engaging our community, it's why people live in California. And to me, it's the opportunity to serve a community that has a beautiful environment. And how do we solve for this COVID issue and at the same time get folks back to being outdoors, all within the guidelines and all within the parameters. But it's critically important to all of us. And I think that's why, for me, I'm passionate about it. My son loves it, and he actually is a very big engaged artist. And so for me, any way I can help him be further engaged and serve the community is a win-win.
Okay, thank you.
Hi, Ray, this is Shelley. In your own words, what is the role of the Park and Rec Commission?
Sure, this is going to be, again, a balancing act between the current pandemic that we're facing and still allowing the residents the opportunity to participate and enjoy the community that we all live here for. I think that's the challenge, and at the same time, it's the opportunity,
Right.
which is unprecedented in our lifetime. But at the same time, it's why people live here. It's why they want to be here. So it's how do we balance that? And to me, that's how do you get them engaged, and whether that's, I hate to say it, we're doing this via Zoom now, but Maybe there's opportunities that we use technology to get folks engaged. Maybe there's other opportunities that we're not aware of that we wouldn't do in the past, but at least it's a way to keep people engaged. And I know our kids are going to school like this now, so maybe there's different ways for us to do it. But most importantly, it's how do we focus on their interests and keep them happy for engaging our parks at all the lovely outdoor opportunities we have.
Great.
Hi, Ray. This is Ron Bates. Just as a question related to this, other than COVID, what do you think are the most significant issues facing the Parks and Recreation Commission right now?
Sure. No, and I think that's a great question. I think, as I mentioned before, I have a child with special needs, and I think it's always important to balance the majority interest with minority interests. Sometimes, the majority interest can outweigh the minority interest. I've had to do this with, for example, the American Indian tribes at the Department of Interior. As their trustee, I had to balance that act between how do you gauge their interest and opportunity, and at the same time, listen to them and help promote that. I think that's critical to help both individuals who may not be hearing of opportunities and may not be able to express that voice and what's important for them. So I think that could be something we should focus on as well, is how do we balance that? It doesn't mean the minority should take over the majority. It's just ensuring that all those voices are heard and presented to the commission is how best to proceed.
Thank you, Ray.
Ron, and I apologize, I jumped the gun on you.
No problem.
Ray, when considering the actions by the commission, how do you balance the best interests of the entire community against the likes and dislikes of yourself, your friends, or your neighbors?
So when I saw this question, I always think of how one has to act as a fiduciary. That means to me is how do you hold the interest of the community above your own, above your friends, your family, your neighbors? I think that's something you have to do based upon the city's governance and guidance, but at the same time, remembering that this part of this role is to serve the residents, all of the residents, not just a special group or a unique group or subset. And that's a difficult balancing act, but I think it's also one that has to be done. And sometimes you're going to disagree with it. You may not like it, but that's the answer that's the best for the overall community.
Thank you, Ray.
Thank you.
And our final interview is with Elvister Richardson. And if I'm not mistaken, he did indicate he would be available for any commission.
Very good. Welcome, Elvister.
Does he have a video coming up, or I don't see him?
I've requested him to start his video and to unmute. And hopefully just a few minutes till he joins us.
Hello.
Hey, good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening. I'm Jordan here. I'm going to start off with the first question. What special traits, characteristics, or experience would you bring to the commission?
Well, I look at it as making a difference in the community and my passion that I will bring to the commission, and it's something that I worked as a kid a long time ago for the Park and Recreation with WLCAC in Los Angeles. And that was something that I always, fell in love with, and helping the community. That's so far as going out and helping older people in the community and just being successful in that particular way.
All right, thank you.
Hello there, Elvister. How are you?
Hi, how are you today?
Absolutely marvelous. Couldn't be better if I tried. My question is, why do you want to serve on this commission?
I have a desire to have a voice in decision-making and key issues in serving the community and being able to serve, in our communities. So, for example, I have a passion for the city of Los Alamitos. I was one of the ones that we had an issue with dumping in our community. And I called the city of Los Alamitos, and they put up one sign in our area behind our townhouse And now I see they're all across Los Alamitos, no dumping, because people was dumping in our area. I just have a passion for this particular community.
Thank you.
Hi, Elvester. This is Ron. I'm just curious, other than COVID, what do you think are the major issues that are facing the Parks and Recreation Commission?
The major issues we facing with COVID right now, obviously, it's a lot of kids that want to get outside, and that either being playing in sports and et cetera. Because we have kids. We live close to Los Alamitos High School, and some of the kids that used to go to the park, we have an area in our townhouse that is for kids. I mean, not for kids, but kids come and literally sit in that area until I guess their parents get to come pick them up. But they do wear a mask, so kids want to get outside.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Elvester. What do you think the role of the Park and Rec Commission is?
Well, the commission is responsible for connecting with all matters pertaining to public recreation and park. That role that will play an issue with our community and making it a better community for the kids in our particular area.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Elvester. When considering the actions by the commission, how do you balance the best interest of the entire community against the likes and dislikes of yourself, your friends, or your neighbors?
Well, balance, I think balancing issues, that's something that you have to balance within yourself between the commission and the people that you're representing in your community. So I think it's weight and balance issue. So that's something that that if it's a subject that come up that between the neighborhood and the community, that's something that you would balance within yourself.
Very good. Thank you, Elvester.
Mm-hmm.
Mayor, are we going to have an opportunity to interview either, for the Parks and Rec, either William or Tricia, or does the council feel comfortable that they know them well enough already that we won't need an interview?
Well, I think, I'm comfortable with, I know both of them and have watched their participation on the commission. I don't know whether they were told they were going to interview, but I think, Ron, if you have questions for either of them, they do appear to be available. And then, up to Shelley and Tanya and Jordan as well, whether they have questions for them. I know Jordan has served with at least a couple of them recently, and Tanya perhaps as well.
If everybody else is good, I'm good. Thank you, Mark.
Sure. Wendy, how do we do this vote now?
So we do have, as you mentioned, 6 applicants for 5 positions. As mentioned, Elvester Richardson did indicate that he was interested in all of the applications, all of the commissions. And we have space on the Traffic Commission and the Personnel Appeals Commission. So if that's something council would like to consider, appointing him to one of those commissions, and then we would have 5 remaining applicants for the Parks and Rec Commission.
Hey, Wendy, we also have an opening on planning, correct? Because there's 4 full terms.
For planning, we had 2 scheduled vacancies, and we appointed our 2 incumbents.
Okay, all right.
The only question with that, Wendy, is I know there was a expression of interest from someone else on the Personnel Appeals Commission. So in terms of the Traffic Commission, we can ask Elvester whether he'd be willing to serve on the Personnel Appeals Commission as opposed to Parks and Rec. And if he is willing to do that, then we can appoint everyone else to the Parks and Rec Commission.
Hey, Mayor, don't we have two openings on the Traffic Commission?
We do, Shelley. We received no applications, and we've got 3 expressions of interest.
Right. Okay.
Dean Ovester and Kathy from the Personnel Appeals Commission.
Mayor, if it'd be your pleasure, I can allow Mr. Richardson and Commissioner Salai to speak on their interest for the other commissions.
Sure.
Okay, we have both Mr. Richardson and incumbent Salai with us now, if you'd like to ask them.
Sure. Elvester, we're trying to balance trying to get everybody onto a commission. And so, we're doing this a little bit in a different order than we typically do, just because I think we have enough spots to appoint everyone. Would you be willing to instead of trying to get on the Parks and Recreation Commission, to serving either on the Personnel Appeals Commission or the Traffic Commission instead?
Yes, that would be fine. That would be fine.
Okay.
Either one.
Either one? Okay.
Hey, Mayor, real quick, I'm sorry, but I'm a little confused still because I'm looking at the agenda. The Planning Commission says there's 4 full terms and we have 2 incumbents. So wouldn't that make 2 spots open on the Planning Commission as well? Or am I reading that wrong?
I think that may be an error where it says 4 full terms.
Let me double check the.
Let's
I
see.
just want to make sure we fill everything. And if we have something vacant, make sure we truly know it's vacant.
Yeah, I show only Larry and Victor's positions expiring in December 2020. The other 5 expire in December of 2021. So we'll be busy at the end of this year on the Planning Commission appointments.
Okay, so it's just an error on the agenda then. So there are truly just two full terms, not 4.
That's correct.
Okay.
The error is on the agenda. We only have 2 full terms for the
Okay,
plan.
that clears it up. Thank you.
Okay. Kathy, Mrs. Salai, if you, I know you expressed an interest in the Traffic Commission. Are you still interested in being on the Traffic Commission? Kathy, are you there?
Mr. Mayor, we do have a request to speak from applicant Morgan Beck. Would you like to hear?
Sure. We can come back to Kathy. Hey, Morgan, welcome back.
Sorry about that, my double clicking. I just want to say, if you need to shuffle cards, I can go wherever. I don't have my heart set on one spot, so let me know. I'm more than flexible. That's all.
Now you're confusing us, Morgan. We thought we had a plan, and now you're being too flexible.
Sorry. Just, I'll be quiet, however it works. Thanks.
That's all right. All right, Wendy, why don't we take a vote? Understanding Elvester's willing to serve on the Personnel Appeals Commission for now. Why don't we take a vote on the Parks and Rec?
Okay. And then for Parks and Rec, we do have the 4 scheduled vacancies with the 1 unscheduled vacancy.
Okay.
Do you need a motion, Mark, for the 4 full-time and then the one-year appointment? Because I'd be willing to make that motion if it will help.
Yeah, I think so, Ron. I think we have to decide how we select who will serve for the shorter term. And we can either do that through a vote or we can take a volunteer. If anyone applying for the Parks, Recreation and Cultural Arts Commission is willing to serve until December of 2022 as opposed to December of 20.
Yeah, 2021, I think.
Let's see. Is that 2021?
Yeah, you've got a 1-year appointment, and then I think the other ones are the full 4 years, is it? Or maybe it is 2022, Mark.
Yeah, the shorter term is December 2022, and the 3 full terms are 2023.
Correct.
Okay. If anyone's willing to take the shorter term, please raise your hand through the Zoom function, and we will appreciate that. You'll get a chance to, you have a shorter appointment so you can see whether you like it or not. All right, Mr. Joseph raised his hand first. I will make a motion to appoint William Bandick, Tricia Murphy, Morgan Beck, Caitlin Durand, and Ray Joseph, with Ray Joseph being appointed to the term expiring in December of 2022. Appointing that group to the Parks, Recreation, and Cultural Arts Commission.
Second.
I have a motion by Mayor Turco, seconded by Councilmember Bates, to appoint William Bandick, Morgan Beck, Caitlin Durand, and Tricia Murphy to the Parks and Recreation Commission with the term ending December 2023, and to appoint Ray Joseph with the term ending December 2022. Take a roll call vote. Mayor Turco?
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Hasselbrink?
Aye.
Councilmember Bates?
Aye.
Councilmember Doby?
Aye.
Councilmember Nafolda?
Aye.
Okay, Wendy, if possible, it may make sense to do the Personnel Appeals Commission next, to try to simplify.
Hey, Mayor, can I make a suggestion with the personnel, just because we're short 2 anyway? They haven't met in the 6 years I've been on council. Can we allow who's ever on the Personnel Commission to maybe serve on the Traffic Commission as well to fill that commission? Since the Personnel Commission, I'm bringing specifically Kathy Slide, who's been around forever, served diligently on this commission, even though there were no meetings, no issues, and she has an interest in traffic. That would at least fully fill our active commissions without having to make the choice.
Yes, that was my plan, Shelley, yeah.
And Mr. Mayor, if I may, we also have Dean Hill, who has joined us, who has requested to speak.
Yes, of course. Go ahead, Dean.
Let me get him in one moment.
I think I inadvertently, I didn't really mean to request to speak. I'm sorry. I pressing buttons and trying.
Now you're stuck, Dean. We want a speech now.
Yeah.
I would say, yes, I'm interested in the Traffic Commission. It's a,
Okay.
if there's availability and interest, I would be honored to serve, and I'm very interested. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sounds good. All right, we can do traffic. It may be relatively straightforward, Wendy. Shelley, would you like to make a motion, understanding there's Dean and Kathy attempting to or requesting to be on the Traffic Commission?
Yes, I'd just like to make the motion to appoint Kathy Sly and Dean Hill to the Traffic Commission.
Second.
Sorry, I had that second by Ron Bates. Is that correct?
Sure.
Okay, we have a motion for and second for the Traffic Commission to appoint Dean Hill and Kathy Sly. I'm going to do a roll call. Mayor Turco?
Aye.
Councilmember Hasselbrink?
Aye.
Councilmember Bates?
Aye.
Councilmember Doby?
Aye.
Councilmember Nafolda?
Aye.
And last but not least, we have the Personnel Appeals Commission.
So, let me just speak on this one. I know we've got Charles Landon and Kathy Salai reapplying their incumbents. 2 other incumbents are not seeking reappointment. We know Elvester, who applied for the Parks, Recreation, and Cultural Arts Commission and who interviewed, is interested. And also the Parks, Recreation, and Cultural Arts Commissioner, William Bandick, also expressed an interest in serving on the Personnel Appeals Commission. I don't think we have any other expressions of interest, although if we do, if anyone else is interested, right now would be the time to raise your hand. Otherwise, I think we'll proceed. We'll give everybody a second to express their interest if they haven't done so already. Okay. With that, I will make a motion to appoint Kathy Salai, reappoint Kathy Salai and Charles Landon, and appoint Elvester Richardson and William Bandick to the Personnel Appeals Commission.
I'll second.
Hopefully you will not meet this year.
We have a motion and a second for the Personnel Appeals Commission to appoint Charles Landon, Kathy Salai, Elvester Richardson, and William Banda. Roll call, Mayor Turco,
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Hasselbrink,
Aye.
Councilmember Bates,
Aye.
Councilmember Doby,
Aye.
Councilmember Napolda.
Aye.
Very well. Congratulations to everyone who ended up on a commission. I think we've got everyone onto a commission this year, which is a good thing. Thank you, and we look forward to working with you all. With that, I think we're done with our special meeting, and we will be back on at 6 p.m. Thank you, everyone.
Council, as our attendees leave, you're free to stay signed in if you'd like. As a reminder, any attendee that joins will be able to hear and see your video. If you decide to log out and come back at 6 o'clock, you'll just click the same link.
I'm gonna stay here because I don't have the link. You had to invite me, so I'm gonna turn my video off though, so I can live my life for 15 minutes in peace.
Happy to have you.
Wendy, just a question, and I guess this would apply to Tanya too. Is there any chance that Chet can do his briefing on COVID now? Or do we have to wait until after the regular meeting?
That's good, Bates. That's good.
Ooh, I don't like the way he thinks.
Yeah, baby.
Mr. City Manager, would you like to do that?
I am a huge fan of efficiency, so if it is the council's pleasure, I will do my best to get through everything I need to get through in 15 minutes. But obviously, I would ask that you put us into a breakout room.
As long as I can eat dinner.
So with our webinars, the breakout rooms are a little bit different. All of our attendees, you will now be asked to leave the meeting. You're welcome to rejoin at 6 o'clock for the regular meeting. And give me just a minute to work through that.